Hello everybody and welcome back to Knox Asian Recipes. Today she's making traditional Chinese mooncakes. So to make the dough, she starts off with 4 tablespoons of her own syrup. She'll add more later. This can be substituted for honey, but she has a link where she makes her own syrup at home for this kind of baking purpose. Then she's adding in also 100 ml of vegetable oil, and she's going to mix these together. And a key ingredient here is alkaline water, alkaline solution at Chinese grocer for baking, or kanshui, they call it as well in Mandarin. And then she's going to mix up these 3 ingredients, and then she'll be ready to add her wheat flour. So she has 400 grams of wheat flour, and she'll add little by little and start to mix it up with the syrup and oil mixture until she gets a consistency to make a dough that's almost like a pastry shell or a pie shell. Have to work this one hard, it's a little tough. Add more syrup as required to get the texture that you need to work the dough. And when the dough is homogeneous and you have the proper texture, you can make it form into a kind of a ribbon. So this dough is ready. She's going to cover it up and set it aside for a couple of hours while she gets to work on her filling. And she has glutinous rice flour, about 200 grams, and she's going to lightly roast it in a pan before she uses it in her filling recipe. And she also needs to take a couple of tablespoons of vegetable shortening and dissolve this. Okay, great. So on to the other ingredients for the filling. In this case, she's using almonds, pumpkin seeds, chopped nuts, 2 kinds of sesame seed, white and black. They've all been baked or roasted a little bit so they have a toasted texture. And she's going to chop up her almonds. You want the texture to be not so fine. If you run it through a food processor, it could become too pasty. You want to have a little texture in there. And she's going to do the same with her pumpkin seeds. Of course, a very traditional filling for mooncakes is red bean paste, and she's made her own, which you can see in another video, and she'll be using that today as well. Okay, so she has all of these dry ingredients, and she's just going to combine them. Now to these ingredients for the filling, she's going to add a little bit of salt, and also she's going to add raisins, about 100 grams or 150 grams of raisins as you like. And now her rice flour also, just a couple of spoonfuls for now, and she's going to reserve about half the rice flour that she roasted before. She needs to combine this well. Add a little bit of sugar. And now she's adding sesame oil, I guess about a tablespoon of sesame oil total. And then just normal vegetable oil also. She's adding a couple of tablespoons of normal vegetable oil, about 100 ml, I guess. Now she combined this up, and also she starts to add some of her syrup so she can get the texture that she needs. She has to keep adding syrup as she goes along because she needs to form this into little balls that become the filling. And now she has this thoroughly combined, and it has the texture where she can make a little ball with her hand. It'll stick together. She's going to weigh these out into 25-gram balls, which is what she needs for one individual mooncake. So all of her raisin nut filling is ready to go, and now she's going to do the same thing with the red bean paste that she prepared prior to this, 25 grams each mooncake. Okay then, perfect. All of the filling is made into the balls required for one mooncake. Now to the dough again, which has been standing for a couple of hours. And she's going to weigh out 20 grams of the dough to use in each mooncake. Okay, in order to form the mooncakes then, you need this little mooncake mold, different sizes you have and different stamps. She chooses two different designs so she can distinguish afterwards which one is red bean and which one is the nut raisin filling. You have to insert the stamp up into the end of the mold and twist it so that the stamp stays up in there. Now she's ready to roll out her dough into a flat piece about 1 millimeter thick. And she's coated her surface with the sticky rice flour that she had roasted before, the glutinous rice flour. So she's going to gently roll these out into a round piece that'll be ready to receive the filling. Now Nok will simply place the ball of filling inside the piece of dough and with her fingers and her thumb close the filling inside the ball of dough. And now she's ready to form her mooncakes using her mold and her stamp. You don't need to press down very hard. Just when you feel a little pressure, the stamp is marking the surface of the mooncake, and it should come out readily easily. There it is, beautiful, ready to go into the oven. And once she finishes this, all of her mooncakes, she needs to spray the top with a little bit of water. Not too much, just a little bit of water before they go into the oven. And after baking for about 10 or 15 minutes on medium heat, she takes them out of the oven because she's going to brush these with a little bit of the vegetable shortening that she had melted earlier. Egg wash would be common, but in this case, she's making vegan mooncakes. So she returns these to the oven once they've been brushed for about another 10 minutes or so, also medium heat, and then they're ready to go. And she's just going to pack them up into some plastic containers. They'll last outside of the refrigerator quite a while, many days, but many of these will be eaten or shared with Nok's Chinese friends here in town beforehand. So we hope you enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time. Buen provecho!